Hello, welcome to a new video, an end of year video, a deck review video. So I'm going to go through a bunch of my decks that I've built and played this year and talk about them for a little bit. So we'll start off with, actually let's extend my thing. So we'll start off with Hunters. Hunters was such a unique deck that I really enjoyed playing this year. I usually like pulling this deck out just to have a bit of fun. It's one of the few decks that I can guarantee that I'm going to enjoy myself with, especially when you start pulling out all your tamers. And it is such a cheap deck that I would recommend it. Oh, one more thing. If you want any of these deck profiles, comment which one you want in the comments and I'll write it out. I ain't gonna bother putting them in the description because it'll take me fucking years to do it, but I will lay them out like this so you can probably get an idea of what you need. Anyway, yeah, and overall it's a really fun deck. Yes, when I've been playing it at my locals, I have had to invest in one of those and invest in one of these, but when I'm playing casually, this deck just performs really well. I've not had much problems with the deck, apart from the odd time where I just don't see any of my tamers. But no, I think this is a really fun, interesting deck that I think a lot of people are going to... if you've not picked up Hunters, I generally would think maybe picking it up as more of a casual deck now than playing it more in the competitive scene. It does really well. Again, it's not even that expensive apart from those two. The deck itself is pretty cheap because of how old it is. And hopefully we will get some more support for Hunters. There was this little support giving stuff Alliance, which is a really cool little effect. But yeah, that is Hunters. We'll go on to the next one. The next deck is Apps. I'm really disappointed with Apps this year. It really didn't perform as well as I thought it would, and it is such a shame because I really like Appmon as a deck concept, being able to link them into each other and link another way of basically DNAing. But this is the form that I think has done the best for me, not more casually than actual winning games, and it is a shame that we are getting more support next year with the Hackmon line as well as some of the promo tamers, which should maybe increase our chances of actually getting this deck to run well. And we've literally just had this new Gachamon, which actually does help a little bit, but at the moment the consistency of the deck is really hard. It's specifically because of trying to search for certain pieces to go into your stuff, to basically digicross and all that stuff. But one day this deck will perform amazingly, and hopefully that day will be very, very soon, or even like next year. I hope it does perform well and we'll get some top ending Appmon decks maybe. Who knows? We'll see. Next one is Dragon Link. I really love Dragon Link. I think it's a really fun casual deck that I think I really want to get more support. I love the archetype. I think it's such cool. There's some really cool art on it and some really cool effects. And it only just has a problem with reliant on these tamers far too much. But as a more casual deck, it's such a fun little thing. It's one of the most fairest decks I think you could play against. It doesn't have any stupid effects that just breaks a board. It's very back and forth. It's a very early Digimon deck, but it's unique mechanic of like swapping between these two when they die and then flipping. It's such a cool idea, and relying on play effects and activating them when you digivolve is such a cool idea, and gives the deck like massive open-ended build potential, and the Dora Brickmon Dora Brickmon idea is really cool. I'm probably going to swap these out for something else because I'm not really enjoying how I've never seen them, and I'll probably want more of the big boys. But overall, I really love this deck. I really want it to get more support. I hope it gets more support. And hopefully in the new year or in the future sets, we do see more Dragon Link stuff, or even just generic dragon stuff, because literally they're all dragons. And hopefully, yeah. Next one. A deck I love and hate at the same time. This is Galacticmon. People who know me know how much I love the deck, but I hate playing it because for some reason I keep bricking. I don't know why. I have so many searchers. These are all searchers. That's searcher. That's a searcher. That's a searcher. And I steal brick on this deck. And I don't know why. This deck just seems to hate me for some reason. But I do love playing it and getting Ragnarok Cannon off and blasting people's securities away. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm yawning. When the deck got announced, I was really into it. I love the deck. The new support is really good. I think I'm just really unlucky. These promos being reprinted is really good. It's kind of with the pricing, but overall I do enjoy the deck. I think it does need a little bit more. I think there's apparently might be a level 7, because at the moment this deck hasn't got a level 7. I know some people are running DefX, but I'm not running DefX. Specifically because I've only got one. Oh, okay, you're good. And I don't have the money to pay for another DefX. But it was nice to finally get some memory setters and some tamers for the deck. Running Izzy was not great, let's just say that. But overall, it is a really fun. I say a lot about my decks is that they're fun. I wouldn't play them if they're not fun. But overall, I think this deck is kind of underrated. I generally think if somebody can work out the ratios and work it out a lot better than I can, I think this could be a top tier deck and be up there in like the best at the moment. Currently, that's a pretty good way of getting around Hoodie, and that's the only way I can think of. My counter to Hoodie at the moment is throw that down with the full amount to try and kill their tamers and stuff, just so they can't do stuff. But yeah, we'll move on to the next deck profile. Next is my almost most favorite deck I have ever played, and that is Commandramon / D Brigade. I love this deck. I think it's super fun, very explosive, very over the top, very it can sneak up on a lot of decks, the meta decks, because of just how explosive the deck can be, especially with like the protection, the overall protection. I'm testing Kaimo, this guy, simply just as a I'm trying it out basically. Got an Omnimon, got a classic old Omnimon Zwart. Don't need anything crazy. These are fucking amazing and just MVP a lot of the games against more modern decks, as well as the Ultimate Flare. The Mind Link mechanic is brilliant. We are looking at maybe getting some support for the Digipolice archetype in the next set. It looks to be Shu Ryugamon base, so this might change. I'm more of a fan of this version of the deck than the Ryuga line, where it basically spawns stuff out and suspends and does weird shit. But I really like going up into Brigadier and just spawning out a bunch of crap. Going to be a really fun next year, especially with aces and dual cards coming out. There'll be some really cool stuff. Like, that was brilliant. Getting an ace for this deck basically made this deck really dangerous to a lot of players, because it's sort of just like a I like to call this a mini DefX because of how it can really disrupt, and being able to play out Cargo-Dramon and Tank-Dramon from the Brigade-Dramon really does put a pressure on a lot of players. At the moment, people are a bit... whenever I bring this out, a lot of people are a bit wary on how I can pretty much win a match if they let me go, and a lot of the time it's very hard for not let this deck pop. The minute you go into minute you get these guys out and these guys out, you're just rolling, you're just winning. You're just going to be just decimating them with ton of tiny little bodies, and it's such a fun deck. It's also really cheap to get hold of. It's one of the cheapest decks I think I've got, because of how old it is. The only reason mine is a little bit expensive because of the alt arts that I've basically tried to alt this whole deck out. I can't, because these are the expensive ones. But no, I would recommend it. Still amazing deck. Love the deck. Cannot wait to see if this specifically Commandramon archetype gets support. I really want Commandramon to get support. More Commandramons. Maybe even like a Commandramon up to like level 6 or something. That'll be fucking busted. How busted would that be? Play out, play out a Commandramon. Play out a level 6 Commandramon. But no. Yeah. Overall, a brilliant, fun deck. Really over the top, very fun, very. It can pop up on people if they're not careful. Anyway, this is the So we'll go on to the next deck and we'll talk in a minute. Next is Rocks from the Liberator archetype. I really did enjoy my time playing this deck and learning its weird quirks. The Pyramidimon stuff is really fun. I love this character. I think she looks really cool, as well as just the overall archetype. I really like the design of. I love the little rock dinosaur things that they've got going on, and the new magnetic Dramon is pretty cool. Just to get open, great little great little card, generic card that's really good. And the emblems make the deck really good. I've kind of been hit and miss with Rocks. As much as I do enjoy playing it, I have noticed that the Liberator archetype has been sort of kind of just overexposed with how powerful stuff is. Like Zephyrmon was just stupidly busted, and Vortex Warriors are just broken, especially with like Medieval Gallant. And then you've got like Rocks being another really strong and powerful deck. What else is there? There's like a blue Puppets as well. Puppets, I know they wanted to push the Liberator stuff to basically basically get people to buy them, but I think they pushed a little bit too hard, and they're now. That's why I think why Hoodie was so strong, is because they wanted to push the Liberator stuff down because of how powerful they were at the time. But no, overall, I really have enjoyed my time with the deck. Building it and playing it has been such a it's one of those few decks that I've actually had to think. It's a very thinky deck, especially with the trashing inheritance stuff. Which ones do you do first? What do you do first? And it's also taught me timing on like effects and when to use them, like these ones, as well as fragmentation being such a cool idea for an archetype. And yeah, it is a really interesting deck. I'm excited to see where the deck goes next, if it ever does get support, and I hope it does. But yeah, it will get support. It's super popular. Every time I play locals, there's somebody playing Rocks, or whenever I was playing, I think the next regional, not regionals, freaking the store tournament thing. Rocks is one of the decks that's going to be allowed because it's a Liberator deck, and I feel like a lot of people are just going to play him. Sorry, I had to click there. Hopefully we do get some support. This deck is kind of pricey at the moment. It's got the whole waifu tax, what I like to call waifu tax, but overall, not a badly priced deck. It does come into the more cheaper ranges. It's a lot cheaper than fucking Vortex Warriors, I can tell you that. But yeah, I think the most pricey stuff is probably like the alts and the digital gate opens, because those are really good at the moment. Like they're being able to play stuff out. Yeah, so we'll move on to the next deck, which I believe is my final deck. And my final deck is Jesmon. Absolutely loved this deck. The new support was amazing to have. And it overall has just performed so well for me to a point. Well, I say that it's either I do really well and I just win every game, or I just never see the pieces I need and lose every game. But I do really enjoy the archetype. I really enjoy playing the deck. I've tinkered with the deck quite a lot lately, you know, swapping stuff around, changing a few of the systemons, putting this one in, and one of the awakenings back in, for the more just sort of choosing what I need to do. These are still two of the best ones these are still the best ones in the archetype. I've also recently just put in the Blitz Omnimon for that final swing that this deck kind of needs a little bit of that, and also I've put these Jesmon back in the deck for more sort of consistency of getting a Jesmon on the field. Originally I had the X antibodies, Jesmon X antibodies, but they were just not doing anything for me. They were really just, I was drawing into them, but not having that on the field, and I was like, this is just useless to me at the moment because I haven't got what I need. So I put those in specifically because that means I can actually do something with it. I can swing, I can play out some sisters, I can get myself sort of prepped for the next turn, and maybe even go back and go into that. The combo of going into that straight into that has really scared a lot of people. My one-ofs of those do come up now and again that I do need them. Again, overall, I love the deck. I'm super happy how it's come out. I'm really excited to see if this gets any support. Not Royal Knight support. I hate when that's any Jesmon stuff got Royal Knight support, because those are used for Royal Knights and those are for Royal Knights, and I was like, oh, for God's sake, it's slightly annoying, but I've looked it over. I've got over it. I've got over my anger on the Raw Knight support fiasco. But overall, I love the archetype. I love this deck. It has been one of my favorite decks to pilot this year. Super fun, super explosive, and hopefully, again, it should get support. It's super popular, and if it doesn't get support, I'll be very disappointed. Anyway, thank you very much for this year of deck building and deck showing. I've had a hard year this year with Digimon, trying to keep up with the game, but it has been a fun year to try and keep up with everybody. But hopefully next year will be different. I'm not, mind you, I am slowly weeding out Digi for more games for next year. So next year you might see some more deck profiles for other games. In particular, maybe One Piece and Riftbound, if I decide to follow those on the field. So I hope you guys had a lovely time watching this. Have a very good day, and ta-ra.